Hair to the front. Do we look crazy?
No, we look cute.
Okay, I like it.
Big fan. Hi friends, I'm Maddie.
I'm Kristen.
And welcome to the second episode of We Share Needles.
Yay! It's like an official episode because this is our third.
Yeah, kind of our third. The first one was like a weird, darkly lit chat.
Yeah, I like that.
Big fan. We're just gonna jump right into it. Thank you guys for coming back. Thank y'all for subscribing and all your comments and your likes and all the conversation on Instagram and interacting with us. We really appreciate it. It's been really fun.
We have like 160 on Instagram already for one episode, and then like 60, maybe 79 on YouTube. It's crazy. I can actually look at those numbers.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's really cool. So we're super excited about that, about the growth and the community and all that. That's been really fun. So thank you guys. We appreciate you being interested in hearing us talk
and seeing our knitting. We took your notes seriously, so hopefully you can
see closer.
Us better.
We got lots of comments of, hey, please come closer, and we appreciate the feedback. So here we are, closer.
So on YouTube, we have 76 subscribers. Super excited. And then on Instagram, I think it was like 100 and something. Yeah, so excited.
20 maybe. So to start what we're knitting on, I probably won't be knitting the entire time as I'm picking stuff up, but I'm working on a washcloth. I'll talk more about my washcloths in the FOs section, but that's what I've got knitting on right now. I don't know. I'm sure you can see it a little bit.
And then when I'm knitting on, I think this is my second cuff of a vanilla sock for my niece. So
yeah.
We're also both wearing Texture Time shawls today.
We are.
These are by Stephen West or West Knits.
Yeah. So we both did the Texture Time at the same time, but not at the knit along. It was after Jess that works at ArkansasYarnCo had hers around the shop, and we both were obsessed with it. Kristen more obsessed than me.
Obsessed.
But when she said I'm knitting that, I said I want to knit that. So we both. I stashed over a lot for mine. This is my Texture Time.
Now I'm cold.
I know, right?
It's beautiful.
So I did, my main color was the navy.
We both did the same
Yeah,
one.
it was ArkansasYarnCo Silent Service on her plush base. Then that's it, right? Silent Service? Yeah. My contrast colors, my mohair contrast is Etching by Stress Knits. My gray is Surprise Perfectly Adequate by Stress Knits. And then the dark green is Mad Tosh, I believe. And then I think this one's Mad Tosh too. I don't remember those two, but I will link I'll link both of our project pages for these guys below. So that's this. It took forever. I did not do the extra border.
I did the extra border. I hope you can see it, but mine is mostly ArkansasYarnCo, with the exception of the last section, which is Hedgehog Fibers in the color Genie.
I love it.
But then my main color was the same as Maddie's, but we went very different directions as we often do. I definitely see the beauty in hers, and I know that you see the beauty in mine.
Yeah,
but like, you would never wear mine. I would absolutely wear hers, but this is not your. There's no reason to lie. Yeah, you probably
I love
wouldn't.
the colors. I don't go to pink very often,
No.
And I just wear a lot of neutrals and more toned down colors. Lots of blues and greens. That's my jam.
Yeah, and then so I used my main color is Silent Service. My mohair is Roller Derby. It's actually Surrey. Mine's Surrey.
Yeah, I did mohair. You did Surrey.
And then I've got here in this section is Turquoise Ring, I think, and then Party in My Mailbox. These are all on Lori's old base, so she doesn't offer the same base anymore, which makes everything look just slightly different, right? I mean,
just a little. The colors just take differently. That base was a 75-25, I believe.
Oh, I love it.
Plush, and Yummy Plush is an 85-15. So really low nylon percentage to what I'm used to, but I like it. It's a good one. I think mine's all Yummy Plush too. My ArkansasYarnCo in this. ArkansasYarnCo is our local yarn store. If you're new, we will talk about Lori and Jess a lot. They're the owners of ArkansasYarnCo, and Lori is the dyer behind ArkansasYarnCo Yarn. And I teach stock classes at ArkansasYarnCo. So we talk about them a lot. We both collect their yarn.
Yes, we do.
And we adore them. They're fantastic people. So they are always linked below as our LYS. So go check them out for sure. She's awesome.
They are awesome. And I can't wait to go back. I think I'm going to try and get there for your sock class.
Yeah.
Even though I won't take the sock class.
I will still be around.
Hang out and be around and maybe help out in the store if it's super busy.
Yeah. Absolutely. So do we want to jump right into FOs?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't have anything to show.
I have a couple. Another Stephen West shawl that I'm going to start with. My proudest accomplishment. I finished my Slipstravaganza at the very end of December, so it did not come into the new year. And there she is. I'm going to get close for y'all. I heard your comments. Getting close. So this is my Slipstravaganza. This one, we can put it down a little. I'll just talk about the colors. This one, my main color is Stress Knit's perfectly adequate. The same light gray, that's my texture time. This blue up here, all throughout it, is ArkansasYarnCo on her plush base. It was a custom dye for a sweater, so I just had a skein left over. The yellow is her Bumblebee color from her garden collection, ArkansasYarnCo. My kind of variegated in this section here and then down here is an Apothefaery fibers variegated. And then I threw in just a couple mohair pops with that Stress Knits etching again. So that's on my yarn. I did the small border, so just 3 little chevrons.
Because you always take the easy way
out.
She wants a finished object.
I do, on shawls, pretty much. And it's already big. Like, it's great. I love it. And then only thing I did kind of different, in the triangle section, it has you do it all in contrast color 2, but I alternated my triangles in contrast color 2 and mohair, just to throw in that mohair another place.
It's so pretty.
So I love it. I've worn it a bunch. It's been on the back of my desk chair all week. I had to run back to the office yesterday. Today is Sunday, January 10th. We didn't say that, in case you wanted to know. But I ran back to the office yesterday to get it off my chair so I could show y'all.
Yeah.
That's that. That's my proudest finished object.
It's so pretty. I can't wait to finish mine because I'm working on mine currently.
And then, yeah.
So pretty.
I love it. Love it, love it. So I'll put that one up.
Okay.
My second finished object is on my feet. I just slipped one off. I made a pair of felted slippers this week. It is with, ew, don't look too close. I won't show you too close. I'll just put in pictures. But it's with, shoot, what was the yarn called? I should save ball bands. That's going to be one of my New Year's resolutions, is to be able to tell you.
In the name.
Yeah, I got it at Mockingbird Moon in Rogers, Arkansas.
You can put a little caption.
I'll add it in there, yeah. But they're felted, and it's my first felted project, and I love them. And they're really warm. Worsted held double, non-superwash.
Non-superwash.
So it felt.
Very nice.
I can't remember the name of the pattern, but I'll put it in. I love those.
I have 2 finished objects too. I had a hat, which I sent with my sister, so I'll just have a picture.
I'll pop that in.
Okay, and then I have the socks that are currently on my feet, which I'm not lifting up my leg today. It's not happening.
We're too close this time.
Yeah, but I do have those Felici carrot cake socks on my feet, and I love them so much. I've actually had them on for like 3 days. We're not going to talk about it, but I did.
Wool is naturally antibacterial. It's fine.
It's fine. I showered and then I put them back on.
That would, I don't know.
Yeah, that is it. Yes.
And then an almost finished object. I have some kids' Felici socks ready for Afterthought heels. These guys, I don't remember the colorway. I'll try and find it. I looked in my Ravelry stash and didn't see it.
That's not cloudy with a chance of rainbow?
No, it's not.
Similar.
It does kind of. But anyway, these are 56 stitches, toe up. I started them 2 at a time, toe up, got about halfway through the leg 2 at a time and switched to 9-inch circs so I could get them done. And I just did a 15-row 2x2 rib. And they'll get Afterthought heels, and they will be mailed to a cousin of mine along with some socks for her family, which I'll talk about in whips.
Love it.
Last FO for me. Did you have another FO?
No.
My last is washcloths. My older brother and his wife lived with me for a little while. And while they were here, my brother in particular went on and on about knitted washcloths for the dishes. He loved them. It was adorable. And they moved out almost 6 months ago, and I have yet to gift them knitted washcloths because I'm a terrible sister.
That was supposed to be a wedding present.
Yeah, they got married in October. Just didn't happen for me. I had always been doing the grandma's favorite dishcloths pattern, one where you start with like 3 stitches and increase out and then decrease down after you get halfway. And something about that just wasn't as mindless to me. I didn't enjoy them. And yesterday, while I was watching the Yarn Hoarder podcast, she mentioned a mitered square washcloth, and that piqued my interest, so that's what I did. I cast on, these are just in Knit Picks Dishy, I cast on 66 stitches and just did a big old mitered square, and I love them. They're big. I used a US size 8, which is a bigger needle than I usually use too, so I think that's another reason they went so fast. But I finished 4. I finished 2 in this blue color and 2 in gray, and I'm going to gift 2 in coral and then some tulle scrubbies with it too. So I'm hoping to deliver that to their mailbox one day this week after I finish this one and one more.
It's going to be so nice.
I think they'll like them, and it'll be nice to have them done so I don't feel there's no more guilt in my washcloth knitting. Like, I knew they wanted them and they weren't pressuring for them, but when I know somebody wants something knitted, I feel bad if I don't get it to them.
And they're so sweet about it too.
So sweet.
So complimentary about your knits and stuff.
Yeah, that's the brother, not my oldest brother, one of my older brothers. I have 3 older brothers. Who, when he lived here, he would come in while Christen and I were knitting and just ask all kinds of questions about the yarn.
It is the cutest.
He'd say, okay, so this is a ball, and what is this? And I'd say, that's a cake. He said, okay, what is this? And that's a hank. And so then when he would come back in, he'd say, oh, nice hank.
Yeah, what's a skein?
Yeah. So he would just use the little vocab words.
Cute.
So sweet.
So nice.
Very knitworthy. They've both gotten socks too, and they're just very, very knitworthy.
Yes.
I'm lucky to have all knitworthy people in my family.
They're lovely humans.
So big stack of washcloths, and gonna gift that soon.
So my family is not so into the washcloths, but I use them as face cloths, and they love that.
Yeah.
So I make them a smaller face cloth, and I usually go for the lighter colors. My mom likes to bleach things that she's gonna use on her skin, so white is gonna be my only one from now on.
Yeah.
But I got them some in different colors. I made them gray and yellow and just kind of cute bathroom colors, and my mom loved them, and my dad was like, I want one.
Cute.
Then I had to make my dad some, so.
I called them washcloths. I should say dishcloths, because that's what I make them and use them for. I'm not really a washcloth in the shower kind of person. Like, it's not my jam, so, but I don't know why, never do. But I use them for dishcloths and cleaning cloths. I have a ton around my house, but the large mitered square is going to be my go-to from now on, because that just was a lot more mindless and relaxing for me, which is what I'm looking for in a knit.
I am just super happy with the progress that I've made on whips. Yes.
So we'll jump right into whips.
Are we in whips
Yes,
now?
you can go first.
Okay, I'm going to go first because let's see. We'll start with this one. I have been working on these for like way too long. These were supposed to be done before Christmas, obviously. This is a very Christmassy knit. I hope you can see the beadwork on the front here.
I'll link your project page too.
I know. I was really hoping to have these finished this week before the podcast, but then I got distracted and I cast on 2 more pairs of socks, and I was really working heavily on my blanket because I did some math on that. Talk about it during the blanket section.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But these are the Bauble Extravaganza socks. They are on ArkansasYarnCo. What is this called? Yummy Sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beaded kind of, what would you call this? A slip motif of a Christmas tree. And there's 2 on the front and 1 on the back down the heel. The heel is different too.
So
I thought it was really, really interesting. But they have this like garter ridge on the side instead of doing the slip, which is easier to pick up on the edge.
The garter is easier?
Well, the slip is supposed to be easier. The garter is easier to me. It actually helped me with my blanket, picking up stitches on my blanket. Now I'm feeling like such a pro.
Cool.
Because I've always struggled with picking up stitches. I find it so messy. And you know, I like a perfect transition.
Interesting.
So it, that looks pretty good.
It looks really good.
I think that looks great.
I like it. It's a really unique sock with a lot of design elements that we don't usually do, that I don't usually do.
This was all new for me.
And the inverse like that with the pro bumps is just really neat. It's really eye-catching.
So on one of the socks, I'm about 20 rows from toe, and the other one, I'm 40 rows from toe. So that's, half stockinette, half patterned, and pretty easy. So I should be able to finish this before next podcast and have a new FO. Yay!
I'm hoping to have a billion FOs next podcast.
And so that's whip number 1.
I'll do a sock real quick.
Okay.
We'll just kind of bounce back and forth, you think? Because we both have a lot of whips.
No. Yeah, kind of.
We've got several. Last podcast, I talked about my cherry chapstick socks, and I was doing the timeless arrow pattern, and surprise, surprise, I frogged them. You'll notice a theme.
Ribbit.
I frogged that and redid them. It's just vanilla, just so they would get some love. The person I'm making them for is a coworker of mine whose last day with us at my company is on Friday, and I would like to gift them to her. Not a surprise gift. She knows they're coming. She's excited. I'd like to give her the socks and a matching knit scrunchie. I think she would love it. So I did all that yesterday, a 60 row leg, a heel flip and gusset, and I'm a third of the way down the foot. I mean, yeah, just about. So I'll probably give those some more love after I finish these washcloths, because those were getting done. And this is just my normal 20 row 2x2 cuff, vanilla 60 row leg, heel flip and gusset, blah, blah, blah. So that's those. And this is Cherry Chapstick on ArkansasYarnCo Yummy, and my mini is just a little red guy.
Oh, it's so pretty. I love that colorway. And I think that you kind of inspired her to do that. What is she calling it? American Classics?
Yeah, something like that.
Series?
I did request this. This was custom dyed for me, and she did put some in the shop. I think it's sold out now. But the person I'm knitting it for is 100% of the time carrying around a tube of Cherry Chapstick. Like in all of her pictures, she's always holding a tube of chapstick. I think it's adorable. That's just like one of her personality things. So I thought she would like. I've knit her a pair of socks before, but it just felt appropriate.
Let me see that. So this is from Frogging, right?
Yeah, it's a little texture. It'll get blocked before I gift it.
I love looking at it. I could not knit like this. This would drive me insane.
It was
That's
just
why
the leg that was.
The knit blanks, or what, sock blanks?
Yeah.
Sock blanks would drive me nuts.
I love them. The foot doesn't do that because I'm past the part that had already been knit.
It's so pretty though. And so soft and squishy. That's it. I love the base so much.
Gosh, so good.
So this is my second sock whip. And this is the Yarnable or Hypnotic Yarnable color Seance from October of 2020. And these are the Butterfly Kisses pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. And you can't really see how it's knitting up in pattern because of how dark the yarn is. If you're doing this pattern, I would recommend a lighter yarn with less variegation, I think. Because there's these little butterfly slips right here. They kind of look like spiders in this
context.
And it is a Halloween colorway, so I did the cuff and 2 repeats of pattern, and then the cuff, and I started pattern on this one. But I did a little bit of a modification because she has 3 sizes, and the smallest size was too small, and the middle size was too big. So I'm kind of making my own little adjustments, and it doesn't really go right. It's not
working though.
Yeah, I figured it out, but I have to kind of keep track of what I'm doing. So I'll definitely take notes on my project page. But I love how it's working up. I think it's a super cool pattern, and I like how the yarn's looking. I did start one from the outside of the cake and one from the inside, so I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they're quite different looking. But I still like it a lot. So I'm really enjoying the pattern. I found it pretty easy to read and memorize, and it's a longer leg, so I think I'm gonna just keep one ball. I want to see how much it actually takes to do heels, toes, cuffs, everything in one, because I've never done that. I've always had a contrast.
Always,
so,
wow.
Yeah, even on my like Felicis, I'll usually have one contrast somewhere in there.
It usually takes me like 68 to 70 grams to do the whole thing. No contrast anything for
I'd
like my 60 row leg.
I want to know. And so this will have a 20 row cuff, a 70 row leg.
Big.
I know. And then
I thought the pattern was 80. Are you doing one less?
Oh, it's 80, huh? I think I'm going to do it full. I think I'm going to do it full because I can't not.
You're so funny.
I'm obsessed. Like, when you give me instructions, I'm going to follow them. So you better be very careful with how you word things. So but always, I like the 2x2 rib. I think that was on her pattern this time, but sometimes she doesn't have that. Yeah. And I'll always change it out. I learned my lesson. Yeah. I don't enjoy any other ribbing. It's 2x2 or bust. So, same. And on 9-inch circular needles, size 1, US 1, 2.25 millimeter. But yeah, so that's my second sock whip. Do you have another sock whip?
Yes. I have one more sock whip, and I'm doing some Felici, some more Felici. I'm doing them exactly the same as this pair, 56 stitches, 2x2 rib, and then I'll do a vanilla tube for, I believe I did like 120 rows total, maybe just 100. Yeah, and this is for another cousin. These cousins are brother and sister, and they're going to get matching Felici socks.
So cute.
So, not matching, obviously. Similar Felici socks, and I'm just doing them in tandem. So 2 at a time, but on separate 9-inch needles. And they will get afterthought heels as well. So not a ton to talk about there because it's identical to the other. And they haven't a ton of work. I don't have a deadline on them. Lakes? Yes, this is Lost Lakes. It is. And I love it.
I think I have that same colorway, but I also had the, what's it called? Who's It's and What, or What's It's Galore, which is very similar. We were talking about how they look the same. It's Felici, What's It's Galore, And there was one other one that I have that's very similar. I think Lost Lakes Aquarium is also just the same. They're all the same except for they have slightly varying greens. So like that's like kind of a softer green than the like bright yellow that was in What's Its Galore. And then the aquarium is like a tealier green. Yeah. But they're all the same. My third and final sock whip that I have is what I'm currently working on, which is Cascade. I don't actually remember the colorway. I think I took the label out, but it's this one. It's pink. I don't enjoy it. I don't like this ball at all. My niece is gonna love it though, because part of my my 2021 goals is to knit all of my family birthday gifts. And I have 2 nieces, both born in February. One's on the 13th, one's on the 14th, and they are going to be 10 and 12 this year. Cute. And she has asked for socks forever, and
it's time.
I know. And she's like got a full adult size foot. She wears like a 7.5 women's, but she's little. She's like thin, so I'm doing a 60 row or 60 stitch, and I'll just do a normal 20 row cuff, which I've already got one finished. I like to do my cuffs first, and then do the vanilla, you know, whenever I have time. And so I don't actually care that these aren't going to match exactly, and I don't think she's going to care either. No. But she's going to be really happy with this colorway. It's actually coming out cuter than I thought it would, because it just looked really, really pink. And this is so Valentine's Day. Yeah. You know, this is not for me. But it's super cute now it's knitting up. I actually like how it's coming out. So, these will just be vanilla. And I think
afterthought heel?
I don't think so. I think I'm gonna do yeah, because that's what I did with the other Cascade color I had that was called Mermaid. Yeah. This one might be called Current Mood. Maybe. That might be a Felici color. I don't know. But the Mermaid one I did, it was super cute too. And I did that one with a heel flap and gusset, and yeah, it was super cute. I think it's fine because
the stripes vary anyway.
They're so small too. So
the Cascade stripes aren't usually all the exact same size, and they have like the speckled stripes. So it doesn't bother me when a gusset like messes with the size of the stripe and all that.
I've also found I don't use stitch markers in the round until I get to the heel or the
like the beginning of round marker.
Yeah, I don't use one until I get to the heel, and then I just kind of track, you know, how many rows I've done, and I'll put those on where I assume is the first. Yeah, you know,
I do stitch mark. I do light bulb markers every 20 rows on the first stitch of the row, but I only will put in like a beginning of round marker. I don't even do a beginning round. I'll put in markers on either side of the gusset decreases. And that's the only time I use like little circular beginning of round markers in a sock.
That's exactly when I start doing them, right at the heel. And you know,
I bought this same yarn too, which is so not me. Bought it. It was just because the store had it, so we bought it. I made one can cozy out of it to gift to a coworker. And then I wound off 20 grams for myself for my blanket, and I gave the rest to Lori at ArkansasYarnCo.
Oh, she loves it.
I said, you'd like this, here you go. So I think she's going to make cozies out of it. But she got a big, I mean, she probably got 70 grams. I mean, I did not use much.
Yeah, it's not really, that's just not my tone. I promise I don't like red. I know that I probably will wear a lot of red because of my skin tone and my hair color. It looks good, but it's not my favorite color. I don't like red, and I don't like yellow.
That's so funny.
But I feel like every time I'm gonna have red. Every time. So
the only color I would really say I don't like would be yellow. But I find myself doing it, wearing it more. Not wearing it as much, but like knitting with it. It's in my Slipstravaganza. Yeah. But I don't know that I own any yellow. It's not yellow and pink. I just don't wear.
Oh, I had a future cast on for my niece that I was going, my other niece. So this is for Emmeline, and then I have Jordan. And Jordan has wanted a crop top for a long time. She's going to be 10, and a lot of people might think that's inappropriate for 10. She's my niece, and she wants what she wants, and I'm going to make her one. It's going to be so cute. I'm going to do, that's going to be my new pattern, I think, for this month. It's going to be a garment. So I get to check that off of my goals, but it's going to be the, I think it's Jessie May Designs. She's the one who did like the bralette that we made, right? Yes. So she did one that's called My Little Crop, I think.
That sounds right.
And I'm gonna do that one. It's gonna be the smallest, tiniest size. So I'm hoping that like 100 grams of DK we'll do it because she's super tiny. She's like the tiniest little thing.
Cute.
And it's gonna be cute. I think it's gonna be really, really cute. So
Fun.
that should be my next started whip. Do you have any more whips and socks?
No more socks.
I have shawl. Do you have shawl?
I have a shawl, a scarf, and a hat.
Okay, well I'll just do my shawl and then you can have the floor for a minute.
Deal.
Because I haven't done anything on this. But I figured I'd give you a closer look since we're closer. So this is my Slipstravaganza, which I still haven't changed out the needle. And the minute I do, I know I'll work more on it. But I'm not enjoying the needle I currently have it on. I've only done section 1 and section 1.5. I know it's all like folded in on itself. This is all with Yarn Bee Color Idyllic, which is a Hobby Lobby yarn. It's very cheap, low end kind of pricing.
Yeah,
and then I think that the main color I used, this base color, is Loops and Threads. And it was like a no wool, like a fake wool.
The textures of the yarn go well together though.
Yeah, they do. They're very thin. They're a light fingering. And I think this is a 6, right? 4.
No, 4.
A 4. And I love the swivel needles. It's just that it's catching right here for me, and it's not working. So I have to switch back to my Chow Goose. I think I'm gonna have to get a larger cable though, because I don't want it to be really bunched up. But
yeah, it's gonna be bunched up at the end because it's like 960 stitches or something. But
I love it so much. It's so pretty.
Really pretty.
And I think Lori wants it for shop sample for a little, even though she doesn't sell this yarn. She's like, it's really pretty. And I'm like,
she wants everything we make. She's just like, just give it to me for a while. And I'm fine with it. She can have everything I make.
That's my only other non-scrappy whip. So if you want to take the floor for your whip,
I'll power through it. I guess I can't get to the end of my row. We're just to knit.
I get to knit now.
So I'm working on a couple of things. One quick cast on, not super exciting, is just a gray beanie for my uncle. My mom popped in and told me one day that he was talking to her about wanting a beanie, and I was like, I can make that happen. So I pulled a skein of Plymouth worsted out of my stash. It's a wool, I can't remember the exact blend. It's just a gray. And I'm doing the boyfriend beanie, and it's literally just 9 inches of a 3x2 rib. And then some decreases. So it's super easy. I knit on it, I cast it on and did this little bit of it, and then didn't do much else after that. But it will get some time soon. I'll get it to him before long, hopefully. Maybe. We'll see.
Super cute.
Not very exciting, but just a little hat.
Tiny and adorable.
One other whip is my Lusuoso cowl. I believe I showed you guys last time. This one is a very late Christmas present for Christen. Which on Christmas, when we exchanged gifts, I said, this is also a gift, but it's not done. And who knows when it will be. But this is ArkansasYarnCo in her Yummy Worsted and in mohair. And the colorway is Rainbow Bright. And yeah, both colorways. It's a fisherman's rib kind of stitch. I love it. I'm doing the double wrap, so this is a little over halfway of the length that I need. This is my project for the Make 30 for 30 knit along with Knitty Natty, but it's probably only gotten like 4 days of knitting in the 10 days of the make along because I'm not doing great. But that's fine. It'll be finished soon, and doesn't it just look like Christen? I mean, love it. So that's one. And then my last whip, what I'm the most excited about for sure, is my Winter Lights shawl for the hybrid knit along that Stephen West is hosting. I don't think I had cast this on last time we podcast, but I really don't remember. It's a pretty new cast on. I frogged my Botanic shawl and then cast on with that yarn. So
you had the Botanic on the last one.
Probably. That's frogged. Big surprise.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's little. I haven't done a ton. I think I'm on section 3 now. My main color is ArkansasYarnCo Yummy Plush in Knight and Shining Armor. The pattern is written for 3 contrast colors, I believe, and I'm only doing 1. So I'm using a Zauberball for all of the contrast colors, except for I'm going to put in this purple for the baubles and then probably just the I-cord bind off. So just a couple pops of the deep purple, but everything else is just going to be Knight and Shining Armor and this Zauberball. So a little different. But I love it so far.
The ArkansasYarnCo Blueberry?
Blueberry, yes. And that is my second contrast color. I haven't decided really where that's going in. It's kind of just like when I feel like it needs a pop of purple, I'll throw it in. So it may be kind of random in the honeycomb section too.
It's looking so pretty.
I'm really enjoying it. It's just, it got set down and I haven't,
Oh, let me see the back here. Okay. I think your
big
little
floats.
See.
My floats are a little tight, but I'm not frogging. I loosened up towards the end and we'll see how it goes. So
I think it's cool. I like how it's it looks so textured. Bubbled, I like it.
I'm excited.
Pretty interesting.
So that'll get some love soon too. And
I bought the pattern. I don't even know what I'm gonna cast on for it.
Good.
But
I really like it so far. I cast it on and in the first like couple of days did the first 2 sections. And then the first Bauble row, and then I got distracted by other stuff. But really a fun knit, really simple, love it a lot. And that's all my whips.
Ooh, you know what would look good in that pattern is the koi pond kit that I got from ArkansasYarnCo.
Yes. Absolutely.
I would need one more, right? Because you need 4.
You'd need a main color,
or another contrast. Undyed would be really cool since the other 3 are
like
so bright. Ooh, girl. We're thinking. I have so much on nails right now.
That would get 3 skeins out of your stash.
That's true.
That's true. A big one.
That's a big one.
And that leads us right into just a quick stash update. I think we talked last time about some of our New Year goals and our intentions with that type stuff. So my stash on January 1st when I counted, I had 165 skeins of yarn, not counting cotton and not counting anything that was a partial skein or on the needles. I cast on and or completed projects with 6 skeins of yarn, so that got me down to 159, and then I purchased 2 skeins of yarn, so I'm at 161 now, but that's still more out than in, so I'm pretty proud of that. The things I purchased, I'll just pop those in real quick. I got my Yarnable, so that just comes every month.
I got mine too.
The January colorway was this wintry mix. It's lovely. It's more out of my comfort zone, but it looks a lot like my mom or my grandma. So it will be socks for one of them or shorties for both of them, and they'll get that eventually.
It's actually super pretty, but also like totally different than what I would put together, right?
Yeah. And then I'm a Hypnotic yarn patron, and I got that yarn too. And so that's the Inner Circle yarn that came. It's just a 50-gram skein. I'm counting it as a full skein because it's not like a sock set. It's just, I don't know what I'll do with it, but there's that. Kind of similar, the purple and teal vibes, similar acquisitions today, but that's all I added to stash in the past 2 weeks. Not counting what is currently in the mail. That doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count until it's at your house.
Until it's here.
Now, I didn't count all of my yarn. I only counted fingering because counting the rest of it just seems like
overwhelming.
Crazy. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
But I got acquisitions too. I got the Yarnable, the Hypnotic Yarnable box, and then I got the Knit Crate box, and then I actually ordered 2 more of this exact skein that I got because I want to make the love note with it in just DK. So this is the Outing Wools Twinkle DK, and it's in the color Squad Goals, and it's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% stellina, and it's so pretty. I can't wait. I'm going to make the love note. I'm going to do a cropped version, and I'm going to do the 3/4 sleeves because I want this to be like a spring sweater. Arkansas is still pretty cold in the spring, but like this will be like for the office and stuff like that. Ooh, yeah. That's so nice.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice skein. And so I bought 2 more of them.
It's kind of but I'm not counting in a good way.
I'm not counting it because it's DK. So I've only counted my fingering. I have 112 skeins of fingering.
I had 108 of fingering.
I didn't actually even count the Yarnable that I got. I don't think I bought any other. No. I almost did. I was definitely on a couple sites trying to buy yarn.
They didn't have PayPal, so I didn't check out.
But yeah, so that was, and it came in this bag. I love this bag. I like that it has a little backpack, like, because I would wear this like a backpack for sure.
I'm not.
I like it, and this is. I would take this hiking.
Oh my god,
this is my hiking backpack. Put a water bottle in there.
For all your hiking.
It's so light. I mean, I do hike a lot in the summer. I don't hike in the winter it's cold.
Well, no, it's cold.
But
I hike more in the fall. I'm not a hot person. Like the summer.
I'm not a hot person either, but
I mean we're hot.
Why do we make the same joke? But no, I don't like hot weather either. But like my other friends do, and so my hiking friends want to be out in Jana and my sister.
Fair enough.
My 2 other friends.
Do you see the jealousy wash across my face?
Friends?
Other friends?
No, it's just cute.
Get rid of them.
100%. They're gone.
Except Jana. Jana's in the crew.
Yeah, Jana's allowed. Oh goodness. So should we go to Scrappy Sunday?
Yes.
Do you have any more acquisitions?
I don't. That's all my acquisitions, and that's all my whips. And
can we talk about, like, just really quickly what I want to buy currently right now? Yeah. It's all of the Bob's Burgers stitch markers that Plank and Stella, is that it? Plank and Stella is selling right now. They're so cute. I mean, they're all the lobster clamp that you don't like.
But we could change out the fixture.
I know, but they're so cute. And they're, I want to say that they're metal. Like, they're like
charms? Cute.
Yeah, they're like, but they're pretty, like, sizable. And it's like, all of their faces, and they're super cute, and like they're like ceramic painted. Maybe
you should buy those.
I know, I love them so much.
You can check out right now. We'll pause.
Don't tempt me. I usually don't buy stitch markers. I know I have a big set of light bulb markers, and everything else I get from her making them for me. So
she gets stitch markers for every occasion, every holiday.
I demand them. In fact. You get yelled at for not making me Christmas
The one holiday
markers.
I hadn't because I wasn't going in Hobby Lobby during Christmas season for beads.
Yep.
But I do make a lot of stitch markers. I don't buy a ton, but I'll almost always buy a stand of yarn if it comes with a stitch marker. You call something a kit and I'm in. Yep. Like, I'm there.
Did you buy the Valentine's Day kit?
Yes.
Okay,
the Hypnotic yarn.
That's next time.
Yeah. You'll see it when it comes. It was Hypnotic.
Oh, okay. Yes. So, back to the podcast.
Funny.
Let's talk about Scrappy Sunday.
Yes. Okay, I'm finishing my row this time, so if you want to go first. Okay.
So,
I might as well do another row.
Well, I wanted to talk about, because the blanket is a big goal of mine. I want it done this year. I don't have enough yarn to put in it this year yet.
You'll get it.
But I do. You know, it's just not been knit with yet. So, I've been working on this for a really long time and have had no progress.
You haven't been working on it consistently, though. It's just been a lingering whip. Like, it hasn't been...
I have not participated in Scrappy Sunday in a really long time. So, I've actually put 9 squares on this since last podcast.
You're beating me.
I've put 9 on. I mean, yours is still double my size.
I've only put 5 since the last podcast.
But they take me an hour. It takes me an hour solid to do one blanket square. And I feel like you can bang one of those out in less than an hour. And that's way more.
It's like 25 minutes for me.
So, yes. So, it takes me a full hour to put on the blanket square. So, that's 9 hours of work in this blanket in the last 2 weeks. And
that's awesome.
I know. But
full work day.
I'm going to keep my stitch markers on to keep my progress for which ones I have until the end of the month. And then I'm going to mark how many I've done in my notebook. And then I'm hoping that if I can do like basically, how much did I say, 2 a day? Did I say 2 a day? That's insane.
Did you? I thought it was, wow.
Or is it 2 a week? I don't know. I did some calculations.
I thought it was like 1 a day.
I want this to be a queen size comforter, like with the overhang and everything. I want it to be, I think it was...
With the overhang, you crazy person?
So it's like 80 by 96.
Wow, I'm going for like 60 by 80 is my...
So, because I want it to hang over my bed and be like really, really big.
Beautiful.
And so I did the measurements and I measured, you know, I think it has to be, it's going to have to be like, I think 25 by 30. Basically across, so 5 of these by 6 of these all the way across my bed, and then it'll be the right size. So I did a lot. I mean, these are almost all ArkansasYarnCo.
Yeah,
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new ArkansasYarnCo on there out of the 9 I have, and then I've got Felici. These are 2 the same. I can't believe I did that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even realize I did that. I did 2 of the same blanket squares.
I've done that. I have a couple in mind the same way.
And then I realized that this is not the same color, and they look very similar.
Yeah, one's Halloween and one's Tiger King.
Yes, so. But yay, I did that many, and I hope I can keep up. I'm really going to try and at least do, I think I said 8 every weekend. If I can do 8 squares every weekend, I can have my blanket in time.
That's a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen.
That's awesome. I need to sit down and do some math on mine because I have not in a long time.
Yours is much bigger though.
I mean, it's a little bigger. So we do the Coziest Memory blanket by Kemper Ray, I believe. I last week on Scrappy Sunday put 5 squares on it and then sat down and really put some time into organizing my scraps and getting all that figured out. So this basket here, a gift from Christen, is just all scraps that need to go in my Coziest Memory blanket, except for the ArkansasYarnCo yarns, and I'll explain that in a second. So I have 5 new squares on. A little black square, that's ArkansasYarnCo. All my squares from this last week have a white stitch marker on it. These 2 are new. That is from my Harbor Fibers Advent, and that's for my Slipstravaganza. And these 2, that's my Slipstravaganza, and that is a Dragon Horde yarn, something or other. I don't know what it's called. So I'll maybe do some math on mine too and have a plan, but there I am. That's where I'm at. A square plus one little weird thing. So that will grow some. And then while I was organizing my scraps, and I realized how many just ArkansasYarnCo yarn scraps I had, I decided to start a second scrappy blanket that's just ArkansasYarnCo.
Oh my goodness.
I'm doing the I Quilt 2 pattern. It is little squares. The pattern is written for an advent, a 12-day advent, where you do like 3 of these little triangle bits out of each, 3 or 4 out of each mini. The little triangles take me like 3 grams, I think. But I'm doing it completely scrappy. So every color will get 1 little triangle. And those are some from my ArkansasYarnCo Advent this year. And I have 1 on the needles that is from the leftover blue from my Slipstravaganza. And then everything else in here is just scraps of ArkansasYarnCo from Advent, from projects, from mini kits. So I put all of that scrap in here, and I'm going to put it in this blanket and then put the leftovers in the bucket for the Cozy Memories. So all the ArkansasYarnCo will go in both, but it will start in just this blanket to make sure that I have enough.
I like that plan.
It'll be a longer term project. This is obviously not enough for a whole blanket, but it's also way more than I could knit right now. So it'll last a long time. And I think it'll be really, really fun to have just a blanket made of yarn by one of my best friends and favorite people, Lori. So yeah, that's exciting.
I was thinking you should just give it to her, and then I was like, but then you don't have it.
But then I didn't have it.
Yeah, and that makes me sad. I think that this is the best project for me, who is a collector. Like, that's truly like one of my like personality traits is I'm a collector. And so being able to have like a little piece of everything that I've done, because I have a really hard time getting rid of my yarn and using up my yarn, it makes me sad.
Yeah, you want it in a skein. I'm
like to look
not
at
that
it.
way. I'm fine with the yarn knit up or in a skein or gifted. I'm more of a knitter than a collector, although I am a collector too. Yeah. I'm gonna grab one more thing while we're on scrappy stuff.
So I've been wanting to do that. What is it called? I Quilt 2?
Yes.
I want to do it. I saw this crazy sock lady doing it, and I was like, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna do that blanket, and I'm gonna do it with the Advents, but I had 2 Advents, and so I have enough to do a really, really big one, and I'm
3
gonna
times
do it
as
to
big as the pattern.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Really cool. So the last thing I do with my scraps, and this is actually an idea of Christen's, I knit a lot of gifts. Last year I knit 70 pairs of socks, and 52 of those pairs were gifts for other people. It's because my drawer's full. Like, I don't have room for any more. And like I mentioned earlier, I have a very knitworthy family and knitworthy loved ones and friends like this one. So I went through all of my scraps and got a little bag labeled for each of my family members. And I'm putting the scraps from their socks in a little bag. So I have one of my brothers, my mom, my husband, his bag's pretty full.
Can you tell he is loved?
He's got lots. And let's see, my dad, my brother's girlfriend, very knitworthy. She's got a full bag too. And then my other brother who has one little scrap. How pitiful. He's not as loved. No, I'm kidding. He's very loved. Anyway, so I'm storing the scraps in these bags. Most of these have already gone in the blanket. I may pull them out and put them in the blanket if they haven't. Just pop them in there real quick. But the intention here is to make scrappy socks for my family members with scraps of the yarns that have been in socks for them. So they'll have
it's so cute
scrappy socks of just their socks.
Yeah.
I know, it's a little silly. I love it.
It's not silly
it makes
at
me
all.
happy.
I think it's the cutest thing, and I think it's just like such a piece of your heart, like going out into your art, really.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's exciting. So when these get fuller, like for my brother's girlfriend Yo-Yo, I could make a pair of scrappy socks out of that. Like, 100%. What's in there? They would be bigger blocks.
So funny looking.
They'll be fun though. My scrappy socks, I usually just do, I use the same numbers I have for each person. I have a spreadsheet on my computer with all my family members' sock numbers, which is a little silly. I don't care. And I'll do 10 rows of each color and alternate that way. Usually one color for the heels, toes, and cuffs, and then all the others will go onto stripes. So I guess with that logic, I would need 13 colors. So whenever one of these bags gets to have 12 or 13 colors in it, then I'll start a pair of scrappy socks for that family member. So that's my other scrappy project. I've not done any scrappy knitting today on Scrappy Sunday, but that's it.
I'm going to do more scrappy knitting. I'm going to do 3 more squares.
Yeah, I intend to. I want to finish my washcloth, but then I'm going to finish this washcloth and then realize I have one left to finish the set. And then I'll just finish it tonight. Like, I could just do it. I could even drive them to their house tonight. Like, I could drop them off. I mean,
we could get ice cream.
They're 45 minutes away, though. Would you drive with me to Cabot?
Yeah. But only this once. For ice cream.
So if I knit really fast, then we could make a late night delivery to my brother. That sounds fun. We'll see if that happens or not. I want to give them to them. Now that I'm making progress, I want to give them so bad. I had told myself one of my 2021 goals was to knit more selfishly, and I've already thrown that out the door. Like, I love gift knitting.
Yeah.
And I think it was just, like, in my head, I felt like I wasn't knitting enough for myself, but that's dumb. Like, I have plenty of stuff. I make myself shawls, and I make myself a ton of socks. I have, like, 60 pairs or something crazy. So I'm just going to continue to knit for everyone else. I love it. It makes me happy.
I mean, you love to knit, and I love to knit, too. I have a lot of distracted time, so I don't get as much knitting time, and you're getting into a lot more distracted time now too, so
stages of life,
but
it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited that this weekend I've got to put in a lot of knitting time, even though I've had a lot of family. I had my nieces and nephews. I had 3 nieces and nephews over last night and all weekend, and they're really sweet, but they take up so much of my time and energy, and I love the fact that I can give my sisters breaks. Like, it was my sister's birthday, so I kept her kids, and right now my mom has them, and I love being able to help them like that, but I also don't have my own kids.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Same.
Like, I know you're probably gonna have kids, but I'm not. I did that on purpose. So
I want kids, just not yet.
Yeah, I mean, you're very young.
I've only been married for 2.5 years, so yeah. I have plenty of time.
Yes, that is true. Now we're getting off topic, but that's okay.
There is no topic. This is a podcast about us. They're just here to hear about us.
It's true. Well, I don't know if we've ever discussed, but she's 10 years younger than me. We have very different lifestyles.
We never really did like an intro ourselves. I guess we can do like a quick little. I am 24 years old. I'm married, and I live here in Conway with my husband, and I have a dog and 2 cats and a rotating family member in my house at all times. Someone is always living with me, whether it's a brother. At the moment, it's my youngest brother and my mom. They moved into my house so my little brother could finish high school here. And then I'll be moving out of this house when they move back into it with my dad. And that's my stage of life. I work a full-time job as a recruiter at a staffing agency. And then I already mentioned I teach sock classes at ArkansasYarnCo. And then I do some other volunteering and public engagement things in my community. So I stay busy, but I squeeze in knitting every day.
And I am 10 years older. Makes me 34. I am a widow. I moved back in with my family after I lost my husband, and so I currently live with my mother, who is undergoing cancer treatment. It takes a lot of our time. I spend a lot of time with her, maybe too much time sometimes. And we have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and I have 9 nieces and nephews that circulate through our household. I only have 2 sisters, but they both love babies. So
they're everywhere.
5 from one sister and 4 from the other sister, and I have 0. I have 2 cats, actually. My cats are my children.
Yeah,
I love them.
You don't need them. You have enough nieces and nephews.
I know. I don't need children, and yeah. So I work in marketing full time, and I've been doing that for 10 years. So as old as you are now, if you can imagine having that same job for 10 years. And then Yeah, so I moved from California about 8 years ago now, and I've been living in Arkansas and working, and my whole family moved out right after I did, so yeah, it's been a crazy journey here, but yeah, I also volunteer at church, so I keep babies on Sundays in children's ministry, and I feel like I'm never alone or like focused enough to knit for more than an hour unless I'm with her. And that's when I get to knit and steal all of her knitting mojo.
And I just stare at my phone.
Yeah, it's a running joke that like if one of us is knitting, the other one can't be knitting.
Exactly.
It's just like there's only enough mojo for one of us.
In this room.
We
in
really
these 4
enjoy
walls.
spending time together. Yeah. So it's like, well, one of us is going to be looking up the best TikToks and the other one's going to be making knitting progress.
Sending them to the other while we're across the room. Goodness, absolutely. Christen and I met. My husband worked at the company Christen works at for a couple of years. And had a little crocheted Pikachu I made him on his desk. And one of their other coworkers asked him if Christen had made it. And he said, "Who's that?"
Yeah. Why would some stranger make me a knit doll?
Then, I mean, several other steps transpired, I'm sure. But it
was awkward.
It ended up with my husband having us connect on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then Christen and I messaging back and forth, sending each other pictures of our yarn in our first conversation 2 years ago. And then awkwardly agreeing to meet up at Starbucks.
I snorted.
Blind date.
Thinking about it.
And on my way to that Starbucks blind date, I was texting my mom.
Oh my god.
I'm going on a friend date today with another knitter.
I said, buddy, it feels like I'm trying to like date your wife.
It felt like we were on a first
so
date.
Awkward, and we like showed up. We're like, hi, like let's sit on the patio and like be awkward and like really high energy and giggly, and it was so funny. And yeah, he told me that she was expecting me to message her, and she wasn't.
He lied.
I sent her a message that was just like, hi, I'm Buddy's friends from work, and I like yarny things. And she was like, who is this? So, that's my favorite. But we've been like fast friends ever since. I feel
it was
like,
quick. It was a soul connection.
It was.
Yes, we very quickly became very good friends, and now spend
like
more
so
days
close.
Together than apart. Maybe a little too close.
I know, too close. It's okay.
No such thing.
People are jealous.
It's fine. And I'm incredibly thankful for that. My husband's not at that job anymore, but I firmly believe that him being at that job, if there was only one reason to it, it was to bring us together.
Yeah.
Because it's, anyway, not going to get sappy about us.
Yes.
But that's how we met. That's kind of our stories a bit of it. You'll learn more about us as we go.
I feel like I've sapped like so much energy and knowledge from you, even though you're like 10 years younger than me, and like I've been doing it longer. Like really, I've been knitting longer than like you've been thinking as a human. So, but she's such a well of knowledge, and I feel like we have like a good energy together
and a good balance.
Yeah,
like we're each good and skilled at different aspects of things, so we balance each other out really well, and just even our mental illnesses are just different enough.
They coincide. We have the exact same thing. I said we were both really anxious people.
She can make the phone calls, and I can stress clean, and it's
fine.
a good balance. This is too much.
No, I love it.
We should stop.
We're so mentally ill. Okay, we're gonna stop there. That's enough.
Anyway.
It's not wrong. I'm not wrong.
It's a good thing.
Yes, I feel like we've like got this really great balance, and I'm super excited to be doing this with you. It's like something to look forward to, and hopefully we can continue making these for a long time. I feel like we're doing well. I feel like we're getting our crap together.
We've had good feedback, and definitely if there are other things, we're definitely closer this time. So if there are other things that y'all notice that could be improved or things like that, definitely let us know. We take that stuff really well. That's what I meant to say. I mean, we appreciate the help because we're new to this. We're filming it on my phone, and I mean, just kind of figuring out. We just want to talk about knitting more, and y'all seem to want to talk about knitting more too.
I've found this community to be so nice.
Yeah.
I have never met an online community that is nicer than knitters.
Yes.
It's so sweet. I love seeing everybody's like progress and like your knitting. I just love seeing it. And I feel like joining in with the discussions and stuff like that is making me like more motivated.
Yeah,
super exciting.
Absolutely.
So
that part's been really exciting, and I feel like that's gonna be really good for me in terms of getting stuff finished. I mean, obviously I finish a lot of things, I knit a lot of things, but the motivation of like having that accountability of every 2 weeks I'm gonna sit down and show you, like, you're not gonna want to see the same shawl or the same pair of socks for a month in a row. Maybe you don't care, but in my mind you don't want to, so I'm gonna want to finish that faster.
I agree. But you know what we also forgot to do that we were gonna do?
Yeah.
Maker corner.
Oh yes, okay. So we were talking about, I'm so glad you remembered. We were talking about a new segment we want to do where we spotlight a maker. And I reached out to Marcia of Knitting Left Sock Blockers and asked her if she'd be okay with us spotlighting her first, and she said yes. And
I forgot to bring all of my sock blockers, of which I have 6.
Yeah, and I forgot to grab mine off the wall. So I'm gonna grab one pair. Okay. All of these sock blockers in the background on the wall. Just a second.
Yes, we have so many of the sock blockers, and I was supposed to bring all of mine and I didn't. So we'll include pictures of mine because I have the full-size ones, and you haven't gotten any full-size ones yet, right?
Yeah, I only have the shorties. So Knitting Left on Etsy, I will link them below. They do hand-carved sock blockers. I believe she even does custom designs, but she's got lots of different designs. And a lot of the ones I have came from sock kits she did in collaboration with ArkansasYarnCo. So there would be a sock kit with a certain theme, and then a pair of sock blockers that went along with it. These were the Anchors Away kit.
I have those.
I love them. The socks, I don't know if you can see them, they're on my wall back there. They are, most of mine are size medium, and all of mine are shorties because that's what came with the kit. I want to get some full size. So that is the Anchors Away kit. And then I have her Amsterdam kit, which I love. It's these little bikes.
They're so cute.
Super cute.
There's excellent theming in those sock kits.
Love them. I want them to come back. And then these are, excuse me, I need a drink of water.
Are those the,
these are the hummingbird kit. I got these in a large size, so I can use these to block my husband's socks, and he loves shorty socks, so it works perfectly for that. I ordered these directly from Knitting Left. The rest I got at ArkansasYarnCo in her collaborations, but
they're really high quality wood.
Goodness.
They smell really good, like
they
that
do.
Wood smell, like that freshly carved wood smell. They're polished. There's no rough edges.
None.
I love the different shapes they have. Like, I have cats playing with yarn, and I have octopi.
Yes.
Octopi. And they're super cute. I love sea creatures in general, so octopi and squid are like, I think they're so cute. I just find them so interesting.
Yeah.
And so those are my favorite ones, are the octopi. And the cats with yarn is obvious. I'm a cat lady.
So cute.
Yeah.
I really love how all the different grains of wood are different. I do a lot of natural wood in my house, and the different shades of natural wood. I really enjoy it. And so I love that they're all just like a little bit different. They're all unique, and that makes me really happy.
I think they're super beautiful, and I actually display them in my bedroom. I've got them on either side of like my main art piece in my bedroom. And yeah, I actually think I have 5.
Yeah. I have 4 sets, these 3 and then one more on the wall back there, and I display them on the wall around my yarn, and I love them. They're beautiful. I display them with socks on them, but I love that they can be on the wall without a sock and they look gorgeous. They are. Not like
it's
the Knit Picks blue ones. They're a knitter thing. Like, they're fine, but they don't look beautiful without a sock. These do. These are art. She does incredible work. So that's our maker spotlight, and we will keep coming to y'all with different dyers and makers and creators we love and spotlighting one each week. And I think that'll be really fun to encourage you to spend money like we do.
Yeah. Encourage you to spend money. We're horrible. I am such a consumer at heart. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm in marketing, you know, I get it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, so like designers, dyers, even like
bag makers,
stitch markers, bag makers. We're so excited.
We'll be able to just plow through the bags that I have on. Yes. And the bag maker that I'll go ahead and spotlight right now is my mom, Kelly McDonald. She wholesales her drawstring bags at ArkansasYarnCo. I've talked about them a ton of times before. I don't know that I have one within arm's reach, and I don't want to get up again.
Yeah, I didn't bring them either.
Anyway,
I have some too.
They're incredible. ArkansasYarnCo, the Made by Maddie bags. I know, right? I can't reach it. And we'll probably spotlight her again too. But I have to mention her every time.
We'll spotlight Arkansas Yarn Co. We're going to spotlight your mom.
And then other dyers.
And dyers for sure, because we have some dyers we are obsessed with. So.
And different ones. That's the good part is, of course, we have Arkansas Yarn Co. in common, but pretty much like I have a top 2 or 3 favorites and you have a top 2 or 3 favorites and they're different. They're not all. They are. It's really neat. We have different styles.
Yes, obviously. We're wearing the same shawl but could not look more
different. But even in terms of the type of yarn we like and the style, we'll talk more about this in the future too. But excited to do that.
Super excited.
Yeah.
This is like my favorite part of my week. So
I love it. It's really fun. So I think that's all we got, right?
I think that's all I have.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It wasn't the...
I just do it like this. This is how I do it.
This is thumbnail.
This is my, I'm so